In this video, I want to talk about Elisha's double portion of Elijah's anointing mentioned in 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 1 to 15. And that's because most people misunderstand the story. Most people get this wrong because most people seem to think that Elisha got twice as much anointing as Elijah. But that's simply not true, and that's not what the term double portion means. Now, let me begin by just giving you a bit of an outline of the story, and then we'll get into the meaning of double portion anointing. So we see in chapter 2, verse 1, 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 1, that this is the time that Elijah is taken up to heaven in a whirlwind. As you keep reading the story, you see that he's taken up in a chariot of fire. Now, verse 7 and 8 tell us that before they crossed the Jordan, before Elijah and Elisha crossed the Jordan to where Elijah is taken up in a chariot of fire, there were 50 prophets watching on. And as they were watching on, Elijah took his mantle and struck the Jordan River with his mantle, and it divided in two. The waters parted, and they crossed through together, Elijah and Elisha, on dry land. And then in verse 9 and 10, we see that Elisha asks Elijah for a double portion of his anointing. And Elijah says, this is a very hard thing to ask for, but if you see me when I'm taken up, you shall have it. Then in verse 11 and 12, we see that Elijah is taken up in a whirlwind, in a chariot of fire, and he drops his mantle. And Elisha catches his mantle. And then as Elisha is returning to cross the Jordan, he takes the mantle of Elijah and strikes the river. He strikes the Jordan River, and the rivers part, and Elisha passes through on dry land, showing that he had become Elijah's successor. He had taken Elijah's place as the head of the prophets. And that's really what this whole story is about. Now, when it says that Elisha was to receive a double portion of Elijah's anointing, it's not saying that he would receive twice as much of Elijah's anointing. It's saying that he would receive two portions of Elijah's anointing. A portion is only part of something. It's not the whole of something. It's a part of something. Now, this is illustrated well in the inheritance laws in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15 to 17. Let me read this to you. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15 to 17, and it says this: If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. So we can see here that double portion doesn't mean twice as much as what somebody has. It means two portions of what they have. And it's a sign that that person is the successor of the person giving their inheritance. And so really when we think about Elisha having a double portion of Elijah's anointing, it's not saying that he received twice as much of Elijah's anointing. It means he received a double portion and became his successor. He became the head of the prophets. That's what it means for Elisha to receive a double portion of Elijah's anointing. Well, I hope you like this video. If you have, please consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up, hit the bell notification button. I'll see you in the comments section, and you'll see me in my next video.